I would say what's going on, everybody, but I know what's going on. So thank you guys for tuning in to BGN Network. I got my guy who's normally here with me with Battlebirds Podcast. He's filling in to help me get through this. My guy here, Philly Fresh. Fresh. What happened, bro?
First of all, yo that man, you know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General, but scratch all that. It's hoodied up fresh today. We got some things to talk about. It's so many players that I can look at. I can point the finger and say, dude, like really? Jalen Hurts is not excluded from this. You got three picks. The second pick is the one that pissed me off the most. You have to learn when I understand you're a young quarterback. I get it, I understand. You're only down 3-0. Throw the ball away. You don't have to put the ball in harm's way, and you come out with a field goal. Jake Elliott has been really automatic. So give him that chance to put us up, not put us up, but tie the game. Nick Sirianni didn't like his play calling in the first quarter. Some of the second quarter, I liked it. But you seen, once again, just because Jordan Howard is there, that don't mean that you don't got to run the ball. Run the freaking ball. He started doing that, and we got a little momentum, but then Jalen Hurts stole an interception with the last drive in the second half. And the other Jalen Reagor. Dude, I'm going to be talking about you this whole life. Like, what is that? What is that? I understand you might say it was a pass interference on a sideline play when Jalen Hurts threw the ball up and yada, yada, yada. All right, cool. I give you that one. But you still got to make that play. You are a first-round pick for a reason. And this is why people wanted Justin Jefferson instead of you. And this is why Devontae Smith is here. And I would have put him in a predicaments. I don't understand why he wasn't putting them predicaments, probably because Bradshaw was on him and you didn't want to test him, whatever the case may be. But still, you got to make sure that you put your best players in the best position. And Jalen Reagor is not the best player. He's not the best wide receiver on the team. You got to give your guy, you have to give your guy a chance in Devontae Smith to try to win the game. And then the last play, offensive play of the game. Dude, what was that? It's like your hands turned into bricks. Like you got hands for feet or something. Like what, you need surgery? You need to get your feet from being your hands. Like what's going on? But you can't really blame everything on Reagor. But I'm definitely blaming because you still had a chance to win the game. Right there, even if he gets tackled at the 1 yard line, it's 21 seconds left. It's enough time to spike the ball and to try to make one or two plays, especially if they pass some plays. You could probably make 3 plays with 17, 16 seconds left. So you gave your club, you gave your team no opportunity to do that. And it wasn't even like you was covered. You was in the NFL, you was open. You was open in the NFL right there on that fourth down. Jalen Hurts threw the ball beautifully, but he didn't do that the whole game. And that's something that we definitely got to talk about. When you look at what Jalen Hurts didn't do, I thought that I don't know what it was with him today. I don't know if it was just he had butterflies. I don't the straight hand situation or whatever. I don't know. But he looked it bad. But we do got to understand we're going to go through that with with these young quarterbacks. But Nick Sirianni didn't help him out either. You didn't run the football enough. You see that your quarterback is struggling. You keep calling these plays. And can I ask you a question, Gates and chat?
Yes, sir.
Did you see Dallas Goedert being implemented in the game plan at all? Dallas Goedert has been dominant since he came back. Dominant. And you didn't implement him at all? He's not your first read in any plays? Now, maybe we got to look at the tape. Maybe it took Dallas Goedert away. But for him to not have a target until the fourth quarter, that's ridiculous. He's one of your top, like, especially receiver-wise, he's your second best receiver. You got Devontae Smith, Dennis Dallas Goedert. And it's not even a question about that. Why in the hell is he not implementing? Why are you not trying to get this guy open? And I got a problem with that. Go ahead, bro.
There's a lot to break down in this game, man. It's frustrating because I do feel like we tried to run the ball at times in the first half and we had success, but there were just really, I'm not even going to call them iffy penalties. They were technically penalties what happened with Herbig. But man, it was like, dude, I mean, the one where he clearly hooked, you got to call that one. The very first one, that was iffy, man. That was an iffy call. I get it's technically a penalty, but I see that happen a lot where you take a guy to the ground and it doesn't get called. I do too. You know, I was like, what can you do? It's technically a penalty. He got caught on it, but those were momentum killers, man. And I think what scares me the most was how dysfunctional this offense was when Kelsey went out, because that's a real possibility next year. And if not next year, it's coming. It's coming within the next couple of years. Like, we're going to have to find a way of playing football without Jason Kelsey at center. And today was, you know, I know it's tough to come in cold off the bench and especially have to play center at that. So maybe if you had a week of preparation and things like that, maybe the result would be a little different. But I walked away concerned with the play of the offensive line for a duration of the game. Like, I felt like we moved the ball. It was just stupidity at certain times of the game that just, you know, just you couldn't buy a break, man. And I hear people talking in the chat, guys. I see the comments. I'm trying to keep up with them. The first catch was a really tough catch for Reagor to make. I thought he had it for a split second. I ain't going to beat him up over the first catch. That's incredibly difficult. The second catch, you got to make that, man. You got to make that catch. I ain't saying that's an easy catch either, but I'm saying that was definitely a catchable pass. And the fact that we didn't catch that, or he didn't catch that, I went out there. Don't put me, Steve, don't put we in this. I went out there, to be fair. The fact he didn't bring that ball down, man, that hurts. And I'm seeing some people said that I hadn't seen the all 22 guys, so I can't confirm anything. But some people are saying that on that play, Devontae Smith was wide open and it got overlooked, and he threw his helmet down in disgust and anger. I don't know, guys. Until I can see the all 22 or run back and see if I can't see it from the game angle, because I was caught up in like, oh man, that's got a chance of being called. Yeah, I mean, it was just missed opportunities.
Gates, I definitely get that. If that happened, I didn't see that neither. I didn't run the play back because I was so pissed. But when you got a guy in the middle of the field, right in your sight, that is NFL open, a quarterback is going to throw that 9 out of 10 times. It's right in his sight. And the offensive line definitely was not good. I didn't get at the offensive line yet. And when you look at, they couldn't protect Jalen Hurts when it came to passing the ball. They really couldn't. I mean, this Giants defense was all over Jalen Hurts. And as a quarterback, I mean, not quarterback, excuse me, as an offensive mind and as the play caller and as the head coach, you got to make adjustments. I didn't see too many screens. I didn't see any end arounds, misdirections, none of that. I didn't see any of that. And that was a problem to me, man. And I get what you're saying about Herbert. The first one, definitely. The second one, yeah, but it's just let go. Like, you got to.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to
let go.
Yeah, you got to let go. Your job is done. Herbert needs to know when his job is done and let go. Boston Scott was already gone. And that was a touchdown off the board. That was a hurt piece. And I want to blame Greg Ward for the drop touchdown. I really, really do. But it's hard coming into a game at the end of the half and you have not played at all. Only time you was on the field was doing warm-ups. And you asked this man to catch, like, that should have been either Quez Watkins was balling. That should have been Quez Watkins. You know what I mean? Reagor, even though I grind Reagor up, he did make that tough catch at the 1 yard line to get us in the position to score that touchdown that Greg Ward dropped. But my thing is, you got these guys that's rolling and they're already implementing the game plan. Why in the hell you put Greg Ward in that situation? to do that play. It should have been either Reagor or it should have been Quez Watkins. They was already rolling. So to me, that was coaching. But when you look back at it, Greg Ward, you supposed to be one of our most sure-handed wide receivers. You got to make that catch. You got to make that catch. And I don't know if you see it, Gates, but I do. Reagor needs to stop fielding punts and kickoffs. They don't respect him. Do you peep that they don't kick it out of bounds when it's Reagor? They're daring him to run it. They're daring him to run it, and he's not getting past the 25 at all. So it's a lot of things that got to be, because special teams is a third of the game, and we got to understand it. They're giving him. I'm not saying giving him. All right, let me rephrase that. What they're doing with Reagor is not working with special teams. He gives us no opportunity to do anything at all. He can't. Yes, he can catch the ball, but at the same time, what are you doing after that? He does nothing after that, and that's a problem to me. You got to give a chance, especially the last one. You got to put Quez Watkins in there and see if you can get a home run. We're down 7 with a minute and a minute and a second left in the game. Jalen Reagor was doing nothing on the special teams. I would have what's up with Gainwell? I would have either put Gainwell or I would have put Quez Watkins in that situation because Jalen Reagor ain't it, and they're daring him to run the ball. Go ahead, bro.
It's frustrating, man. I mean, I tried to warn this was a good defense we were playing. I warned people this defense is pretty good. The offense was really not much of a threat at all. Like they really lucked their way into the points they got. With that said, man, we didn't get the done. We just didn't get. I can't even put it on one person, man. It was a failure from. I didn't particularly like some of the play calls from Sirianni today. I'm not going to say that the whole game was called bad, but there were moments and there were plays that things could have been schemed better. I can't, look, Reagor's got to make those catches. I mean, I thought, what's crazy to me about Reagor is he makes that one down around the goal line, which is like an improbable catch. And then you turn around and it's like, man, like the one across the middle of the field, which should have been the score and should have pretty much ended the game. Like, dude, you got to make that catch, man. Like that is such an easier catch than the one you made on the sides. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's tough because I already felt like people were going to be a little angry with Reagor because he dropped that slant. Now there was a tight coverage kind of situation, and like that was a really hard. But the ball was placed pretty well in that slant pass. Look, we talked backstage, and I said it, and you said it. Like Jalen Hurts did not have a good decision day. Like
he did.
You can't turn the ball over 3 times yourself, man. Like you've been so good at not doing that. And today just felt like he was trying to feel it, but you're throwing into a team that plays pretty tight coverage and plays pretty well in the secondary. And they got to him, man. They got 3 takeaways. I mean, and some of those were just, it took points off the board, which in a game where we needed points, I mean, it was a killer,
One red.
It's disappointing that we let an opportunity slip through our hands.
Yeah, you had one in the red zone. You had one at the 40-yard line when you was driving. And the other one, I can't remember exactly where that was at, but I think that was just but it was double coverage. It's like he got to be smarter with the football, and I think he was just trying to. He was trying to rush things, and he was trying to fit a square pin in a round hole, and that's not going to work in the NFL. And
yeah,
I think he will learn from that, and I think Nick Sirianni will learn from that. But this loss hurts right now because we kept saying you can't lose to this team. You cannot lose this game. You're already on a 2-game winning streak. You're rolling. And we still had 200 yards rushing. We did. But it didn't matter if you don't make the necessary plays. That's the difference between ball games, especially close ball games like these. To make the necessary plays that need to be implemented and that need and you just take the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And today, I didn't see that from anybody. Boston Scott. You know how much I like Boston Scott. I picked him to be the player. He was the only guy to score a touchdown for us. Yeah, but that fumble is a hurt piece, man. Like we're starting to turn, and I said this in my do's and don'ts. We was protecting the football for the last 5 games. Wasn't really giving up nothing. I think we had 2 turnovers in the last 5 games. In the last 2 games, I think we got like 7. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. Like these running backs got to protect the football, and I think that's where we really miss Jordan Howard. Like Jordan Howard is not the complete back, but when you need somebody to say, yo, go get these yards, go protect the football while you getting these yards, and go punish people, that's where you miss Jordan Howard. And we miss Jordan Howard this game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like the offensive line to me, and it was in and out. You had Herbert. He played center. Then he had to come in and play guard. I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, if you know what's going on and you know this, then you know the best attribute of us is running the football. And even though we did get 200 yards, it still should have been more, especially in the first quarter. To me, I don't think this team should ever in any quarter have more passes, especially the first, have more passes than rushes. And that's what happened. I think it was 10 passes to 6 rushes. But that's what happens. 3 and out, interception. That's what happened in the first quarter. No production from the offense at all. And even though I do think the defense, they definitely stood up. You know what I mean? And I thought that Avonte Maddox, and it's crazy. It's a game of inches so much. Avonte Maddox not securing that. I'm not going to blame that on him. He plays cornerback for a reason. He's not a wide receiver. I get you. But I thought he was big on that third down. That third down, that coverage, I'm like, all right, now we getting some momentum. And then it started to happen. And then Jalen Reagor happened. And I'm not flustered for words. You know me. I'm gonna talk how I talk. But at the same time, I'm kind of speechless on Jalen Reagor right now because it's like you got Devontae Smith. Why are you not putting him in that position? Why are you putting Jalen Reagor in that position? I'm not talking about the last play because that might have not been the first read, but he was open. I'm talking about that seam route. Like it should have been somebody else. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have liked for him to make that play, and I think he should have. But it's like you're not going through contact, even though you're getting contact. You gotta rise through contact, and that's what the better wide receivers in this league does. And I've been saying this for a while, Gates. I've been saying this before the season even started. To me, this is where you're missing a possession receiver. Devontae Smith, I like him. Possession receiver, really no. I'm talking about that big, tall guy. And to me, I would have reached out to Larry Fitzgerald. I've been said that. I would have been reached out to Larry Fitzgerald because you don't have that possession receiver, that big guy. You got rid of Travis Fulgham. You got J.J. Whiteside. You don't use him, even though shout out to him. He did get that one play, the same play that they ran against the Saints that kind of sealed the game until Jalen Hurts made the touchdown. It was the same exact play. But that's all you're going to use him for? That one play? And to me, he's supposed to be that 50-50 guy that goes up for that ball. This is what you drafted him for over a DK Metcalf, right? So why in the hell is he using him? Use your players to the best ability. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. First off, 104 people watching, guys. Triple digits, man. We really do appreciate y'all. Please understand, guys. This is killing Reese and I to have to come do this, man. Neither one of us want to jump up on this thing and talk after this, man. We had to motivate each other to come on here and face the potential giant proverbial music here because they won the game. And I'm gonna get into this question, Superhero 18. Yeah, you talked about whether or not the Eagles can open the playbook with Hurts at quarterback, and we got a very ouch answer. Is it time for us to move on in the offseason? To start with, we reached up to 114 a second there ago, guys. Holy crap. To start with, I have no like Superhero 18. I have no impact, man. I can only speak to how evaluations normally take place, and I don't know what the Eagles are going to decide. What I can say is that evaluations are supposed to take place in the offseason. So I don't think this one game moves the needle one way or the other, and that works in both positive and negatively, right? Like you're not going to react off of one game. You're going to take the entirety of the thing together. In saying that, man, I don't know, man. Like this is a tough because right now it's easy to be reactionary, Superhero 18, and I feel quite reactionary in this exact moment. So that's why I'm trying to be careful until I can see the all 22, so I can really weigh the decision, because to move on means what do you do? Like, you're going to spend several picks in the offseason to get a veteran quarterback? Or are you going to bring in competition? Are you trying to draft a guy? Because you got to be careful and make sure you make an upgrade. And I don't know that you can just answer that right at this moment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that those are things that can be answered in this exact second. This was a rough game. This is going to tell us a lot about the coaching staff, in my opinion, Superhero. I think you have to pick up a young quarterback now who, I'm telling you, this game's going to affect him. I saw frustration for the first time in Jalen Hurts on the actual field. I saw the cameras pan to him. I saw the frustration on his face. It's the first time I really noticed it from Jalen Hurts. And look, I'm not calling the guy out for it. I mean, he's human. He's a human being. You have a wide receiver, man, that just laid 2 balls on the ground that could have won the game. How do you got a lot of managing in this locker room, man. You got some major question marks with Jack Driscoll just going down, right? We were just talking about Brandon Brooks potentially coming back. There are so many questions. You know, we lost our center in this one, Kelsey, for a period of time, and the offense didn't look the same. There are so many questions to answer here, guys. This is going to have to be a major coaching thing here, because I got to be honest with you. I don't think the play calling was horrible through the duration of the game, but I think there were stretches of the game where it was a little questionable, where I don't think we did things to ease some of the problems we were seeing on the football field, to be quite honest. There's a lot to go down, man. I don't want to put this loss on one player. This was more than one player. But on a positive note, the defense did show up today against the quasi opponent. Let's be real. And there were issues with soft coverage at times that I agree with. But for the most part, the defense kept us in this game when the offense just kept trying to give it away at every turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the defense definitely stood up, but Steven Nelson is getting picked on.
Yeah,
he's getting picked on. Like, a lot of people don't want to throw Darius Slay away, so you understand that. But it looked like it has been working. The last 3 games, he's getting picked on. Now, we won the last 2, so we overshadow it. But today, you've seen him once again getting picked on. And it's a cause to pause, because if we do I still think that we can make a run and make it to the playoffs. This is a loss, and maybe this is the gut check that we needed. Sometimes the team just needs that gut check. You flying high, everything is going good. And I made a video saying, is Nick Sirianni to be able to deal with success? Like, sometimes it's easier to deal with a decline than uprising, because you don't know, as a coach, you come in and everybody's dancing and yada yada yada, and you saying, y'all take off Monday and Tuesday, I see you Wednesday. But now you're in a position to where, as though, you get a gut check. So we're going to see how you want to react, Nick Sirianni, because, I mean, you got the Jets coming up, but right now, you cannot, and I said this in the pregame, you can't sleep on nobody. We're not that team to where, though, we can just roll out of bed and say, you know what, we beating them. Nah, that's not us. We got to work for every freaking thing that we do. And that's cool, because we're a blue collar city. I ain't got no problem with that. That's fine. But at the same time, you have to earn it, and you have to look at this tape and say, when we're running the football, we are dominant. We are. Let our quarterback come along by making play throws when he needs to, but just dominate by running. Once again, 200 yards rushing, but you only put up 7 points. That might be the first in NFL history. I got to check the stats on that. 200 yards and only 7 points? Are you freaking kidding me? And a lot of that is because of the quarterback. A lot of that is because of the quarterback's decision today. But I thought that Nick Sirianni did not help him out by running the ball enough. Defensive-wise, I would have liked more pressure on Daniel Jones, and it don't got nothing to do with Jonathan Gannon. I thought that he sent blitzes, but they was covered sometimes. But we got two guys getting $10 million this year, and they don't record not one sack. Hargrave, you are on a milk carton right now. Where the hell are you at? Where are you at? In the beginning of the season, you was dominant. You have been doing nothing. I don't think that you even recorded a stat today. Not a tackle, not nothing. I didn't hear his name not one time. Did you, Gates?
No, not really.
I seen Fletcher Cox have a big tackle for loss on Saquon Barkley. I seen that. Cool. All right. But you getting paid $10 million, dude.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean,
go ahead.
Just to answer some questions in the chat, guys. I don't think it was just Reagor. I thought there was a concerted effort to get the ball into Quez and Reagor, and at times it was forced. And it was obvious. It looked like to me as if there was a concerted effort to try to expand upon the passing game and get other guys involved. And it didn't go well today. It didn't go well today for a lot of reasons. I think some of it was play calling and scheme. I think some of it was the decision-making of Jalen Hurts. I think some of it was the receivers just dropping passes. I mean, not getting position. I mean, this is a tough game, man. I try to say that this Giants secondary was better than people thought, but we still shouldn't have dropped this game, guys. I'm not going to make an excuse there. We should not have dropped the game. This is a big mistake to drop a game like this. I see a lot of discussion going back and forth, guys, about what happened in terms of whether or not Devontae Smith was open on the last play of the game. I honestly can't confirm one way or the other, guys. Obviously, I can't watch the clip while I'm here with you guys, and I haven't had a chance to watch the All-22 yet to get to that. So once I can see the All-22, I can see – because here's the thing, man. You have to know route design. You have to know the concept. You got to see what was going on with the development of the play. I can't tell that right now, guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm frustrated, guys. I'm trying not to say anything over the edge because right now I'm really frustrated. I know Reese is too. Like I said, guys, we had to literally motivate each other to come on here and talk, guys. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Eagles body bags. I'm sorry, buddy. Coming in with the $2 super chat. We appreciate you, man. Carson Wentz 3 touchdowns over to GOAT. Carson had a good game, man, but I got to be honest, guys. Like, it's not here. I mean, there's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point in rehashing that. Carson went it out. They gave him what he asked for. I mean,
losing definitely does help us, and
yeah,
it's crazy. They stopped running the football too. They was up 14 points, and they just got past happy.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, I mean, I don't think Reese or I, either one of us thought Carson couldn't play. Neither one of us said that. We thought he had very flawed mechanics at times, and we felt that him and Doug, for whatever reason, was just like dumping gasoline on fire. But it is what it is, man. I mean, you know, he's moved on. He's an Indianapolis Colt now. I mean, we have to focus on who's behind center of the Eagles.
I get everybody. I get y'all. I see y'all comments. I get y'all talking about Hurts. He had a bad game. Every quarterback has bad games, man, and this was just a stinker for him. And he does deserve a lot of this blame. I'm going to give him 60% of the blame for this loss. You can't turn the ball over 3 times and not get the bare stroke of the blame. But I also did think that when the game was still on the line, he was making the plays to win us this. If he would have won this game, I don't think a lot of people would be commenting saying, well, he had three interceptions. A lot of people would have said, he pulled out this game, even though he had a bad one. And I got to play devil's advocate with that because I'm the guy, I look at everything, even if it don't happen, and I say, damn, he did put us in position. He did take us down the field with 1 minute and 1 second left and got us almost in the red zone and threw 2 touchdown passes to Jalen Reagor. 2.
Yeah.
And they was mishandled and they wasn't caught. So as much as I do give him the blame, like I said, it's 60%. I'm going to give Reagor probably like 20% because that was only 2 plays, or 2 plays, and also not doing anything on special teams. And that's the thing that we don't talk about a lot, but it is a third of football, and people need to understand that is so big. You don't give your guy and Jalen Hurts no opportunity to be at the 40-yard line, the 50-yard, stuff like that, because you just don't do nothing with the football. He's not that guy to return punts. I'm sorry, he's really not. And for you to drop those passes on top of that, it's just a hurt piece, man. It's just a hurt piece. Yeah. But it was so many things that you can point at, like the Nate Herbig, the touchdown call back, and the big play. Every time he got a penalty, it was a big play. So it's so many things that you can look at. But right now, I can't go without saying that Jalen Hurts is the bulk of the reason for this loss. But at the end of the day, in the fourth quarter, he did give us a chance to win the game. And so did the defense. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The defense hung in there for us, man. I mean, it did. I'm not saying it was perfect. I do think sometimes we were being a little passive defensively at times, but you only give up 13 points, man. It's kind of hard to criticize too much. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough, man. And I got a lot of people chiming in, man. You guys are really angry about Jalen Reagor. I can't help but laugh, guys, because I'm angry too. Because if I say what I'm really going to feel, I'm going to get demonetized. So I got to keep it a certain level here. Richie MC said, at Gay City Sports Talk, can Reagor come back next week, or should we take the Jets game in the bye to talk to a sports psychologist? Nick's going to have a heck of a coaching job on his hands, Richie. You know that just as well as I do, man. He's got a lot of guys he's got to pick back up, because I made the title saying, could the Eagles break the Giants' spirit? Did they just break our spirit? That's going to be the key question, because you got to get back up. You're not out of anything. You're 5-7. You are 0-2 in the division, and that hurts. But you're not out of anything, man. You got to get back up. I was hoping we could survive this game and get a close call and a scare and come out of here with a W, and that wake this team up. It didn't work that way, man. But season's not done, man. It's not done. Like, you can't roll over yet, guys. It's not over with yet, man. And I'm hoping that
if I'm the head coach, Steve, you know what I'm saying? We had 4 turnovers and they put up 13 points. So that, even though it's no moral victories, I don't believe in that. I think that's a bunch of hogwash. I don't believe in moral victories. But going into the half, you had 2 turnovers. One was in your own red zone, damn near in your own red zone, and you come up with 3 points. So I'm looking at my defense. I'm looking at Jonathan Gannon. I say, you do a hell of a job. Daniel Jones had 202 yards passing, 30 yards rushing. Saquon Barkley didn't even crack 50 yards. I'm going to, if I'm Nick Sirianni, I'm going in and I'm shaking Jonathan Gannon's hand in front of the whole locker room, because you did your job. I didn't do mine. That's on me. Sure. And coming into this Jets game, I'm coming up with different game plans. I'm coming up with some more motion. I'm coming up with some more screens. I'm getting Jalen Hurts into a rhythm early instead of having him just chuck it down the field early. I'm using the middle of the field. That's what I would do if I was the coach, because Nick Sirianni definitely deserves some blame for this. He's up there too. Yeah. I can't blame nothing on Jonathan Gannon, even though I do understand Nelson was getting targeted, but you're not going to bench him.
Yeah. What's up, DH Eagle? How you doing, buddy?
Yo. So when you look at the whole situation, if I'm Nick Sirianni, I'm shaking Jonathan Gannon's hand in front of the whole locker room saying, you did your job. You held this team to 13 points. Now, I understand they only scored 10 last week. I get it. I understand it. But they also didn't have 4 turnovers. 4. And you only scored 13 points. I think this defense was outstanding committing that. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the possession, like how many possessions we had compared to how many possessions they had, but I'm pretty sure the possessions and the time of possession was definitely in their favor. And you only give them 13 points. So I gotta give, if it's one thing that I can come from this game and saying they did their thing, it was definitely the defense, man.
Guys, super impressed with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in with us tonight. It helps to have company when you're miserable. So 135 of us at one point, guys. We appreciate it, man, because if I didn't have to drive around and do some work after this, I think I'd be ready for a drink because, good God, man, like, this was just a disappointing game, man. I had a feeling, Reese. I just had a feeling there was a chance that this is going to be a letdown. It felt like it, man. It just felt like it coming into this game. But how do we get back on track, Reese? Because to me, that's the most important thing. We're still 5-7 on the season.
I can call from your score prediction that we always gonna lean to the Eagles, but when you said like 24-23, something like that,
28-27.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. 1 point, like you try to have me on the edge of my seat, and I was on the edge of my seat, like literally, like I'm sitting here watching the game. I'm like, this is a defining moment for Jalen Hurts. And I think Jalen Reagor effed that up. He did twice.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man, because even if he missed the Smith read, and that may be true or not, I don't know, guys. I don't have the film in front of me. The play was there to be made. I mean, it was there. I mean, you got to secure the catch, man. It's tough, man, because I think I see it both ways, man. There's no way that Jalen Reagor should be given a pass on this game. He was bad. He was bad in this game. Like, and Jalen Hurts was bad.
But here's the thing that I need, if people just coming in, that I need people to understand too. It wasn't just at the receiver position. He's bad on special teams. He really is. I'm sorry, he really is. He's not that guy. Now I get it. You want to make sure it's secure. You want to make sure you don't fumble. Yada yada yada. I understand, because I just seen Hines fumble against whatchamacallit in the red zone on a punt. I get it. I understand that, but you got to find a guy that has balance on being able to get you yards and being able to secure the ball. And I think you should give Gainwell a shot. I think you should give Gainwell a shot, man. Like, I think he's that guy. If you're not going to use Quez Watkins in that would probably be my first pick. But a lot of people saying, well, secure the ball. If he's going to be able to secure the ball, all right, cool. All right, then you got to go with Gainwell. Because Reagor is, when he gets the ball, he's just a magnet to defenders. He runs right into defenders. It's like, and then you got him on kickoffs, and they're kicking right to him at the 10-yard line, daring him to come and run, and he doesn't get past the 25 ever. That's a problem, man. You like, if I'm the coaching staff, I got to look at that, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Bobby Murphy, I agree, man. The first one, hard to really put that one on Reagor so much. It was just a really tough catch, and there was a lot of contact. But I don't know that I would have called that one. I think that they were fighting back and forth. It was just a tough play. The second one, that's heartbreaking, bro. You just can't. I don't know, man. Maybe Reagor's got a corrective vision thing going on. I don't know, man. Like, that one's tough to watch as an Eagle fan, bro, because I feel like what bothers me is, like, I felt like both times we had the ball late in the game, like, we're going to drive and we're going to win this game. And both times we found a way of not coming up with it, man. It's is a very, very. It's more than just disappointing moment, man. It's downright frustrating right
What I can say is, without looking at the all 22, I thought even the guys that came in for
now.
the starters when dudes got hurt and the guys that was playing, I thought that they were solid for the Giants. Like it wasn't too much separation. Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts had to pinpoint almost everything, every ball that he threw. And on the other side, even though I do talk about the defense only giving out 13 points, but I did see some guys running wide open. And you just don't see that with the Eagles in this game. And once again, that's a problem. That's a problem. But you got some super Yodats in there. I seen Mr. Philly
y'all
Mike
right?
up in this song, and I seen
My bad, guys. Let me
Eminem.
go down and find him. I see it, Mike. Sorry, Mike. My bad, buddy. Philly Talk Podcast coming to $1.99 super chat. My guy's over here probably dying from having the sinus issues and having to call the game at the same time and watching this, man. He says, sorry, guys, after that game. I thought a lot worse, shaking my head. Hey, I
I
don't
bet
blame
you
you,
did.
man. You saw Reese and I going back and forth in the group conversation. We had to convince each other to come on here and do this because it's not easy, man. This is not easy to deal with right now. There's no doubt about it.
It's definitely a hurt piece, and shout out to Mike. We are who some of us thought. I mean, my thing is, this is another game, and I say this about Oakland. I say this about definitely about the Chargers. This is
Mhm.
another game you should have won. So when you look at it, and I get it. Everybody falls, and like I said before, but in the pregame, is always an upset. And I think today we was the upset today. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
once again, if you're Nick Sirianni, you're probably going to be favored in your next couple games. How are you going to deal with adversity? How are you going to deal with success? Because when you're the underdog, it's like you got nothing to lose. You throw
Yeah.
everything at them, the kitchen sink and everything. But now they're looking at you like, yo, you got a chance to win I watch NFL Network sometimes, especially when they talk about the Eagles. They're saying that, oh, we got a 71% chance to get to the playoffs and yada yada yada. And I'm pretty sure he know that too. So
Yeah.
now it's pressure on you to perform. Well, you got to do that, man. You got
Absolutely.
to do that, but to do that, you got to stick with what was getting you where you at. And I don't think that the Giants were stopping the run, and it was just like, all right, no, you just went to a whole nother script again. And we talked about this before. Why, if you're running 5 yards a clip, why in the hell is you trying to have Jalen Hurts throw the ball 40 times in a game?
Yeah.
It should never be like that in any quarter. Go ahead, bro.
Jay Milton from Jersey. Bro, I feel this comment, man. Yoda, what the radio edit was that? Did we just watch that after what we've done this season? Yo, I feel that one big time, man. I definitely do, man. And we got Bobby Murphy. Me too, Gates. I'll drink one for you. And you might need to have 2 for me, bro. You might have to have 2 for me, man.
Hey, after that game, I'm drinking water, man. I'm drinking water.
Yeah. Eminem with the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate you, buddy. He said, this may be unpopular, but we needed this humbling. Yeah, Eminem, I was just hoping we could get humbled with still a W and sneak our way out of it, but it didn't come up that way. You know? And then we got Mr. Wake Up. It's a trap set. Hurts is not a quarterback. I'm sorry. I don't feel like tackling that right now, Mr. Wake Up.
Yeah, they said the same thing about Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, you got to use. All right, Steve. Let me tackle this real fast. I understand everybody's frustrated. 3 turnovers. I get it. I understand it. It's probably no quarterback in the league right now that never had 3 turnovers. You could talk about Tom Brady. You could talk about Russell Wilson. You could talk about Aaron Rodgers. You could talk about anybody in the league right now. Name me one quarterback that never had 3 interceptions in a game. It happens. He had a bad freaking game, and he's still developing. So I just need people to just pause for cause, please, because that doesn't mean that's who he is. That doesn't mean that's who he is. It's just that he just had a bad game, and some people just have that. So with me is you got to have patience, especially this guy. This was his 15th start ever. And we just want somebody just to come in and just be the next Tom Brady. That's not how the NFL works. Every quarterback goes through their trials and tribulations and their struggles, especially when they thrown into the fire. And he was thrown into the fire last year. Now, you got an Aaron Rodgers who sat for what, 4 years? 4 years behind Brett Favre. So that's different. But when you got a guy that's just thrown to the fire, he's going to have bad games.
Yeah.
He is. That's just what it is. You don't want it. You don't want to see it. And when you see it, it's frustrating. But that doesn't just mean that, oh, that's who he is every game, because he's not. Because I'm pretty sure most of the people that's commenting, when he made that touchdown last week against the Saints, you was cheering him on. So have that same energy. That's all I'm saying. I get it. I understand it. And I said the same thing about number 11 when he was here. A lot of people, when he had bad games, it's just, oh man, he's buns, he's this, he's that. But then when he goes on a 5-game win streak and he wins the NFC East, now it's, oh, Carson, this is where we fell as Philadelphia fans. We want to throw everybody in. We want to throw everybody in the dirt when they have a bad game. It is what it is. He had a bad game. We should have won a game. We didn't. All right. Now we got 5 other games to get right. It is what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Joel, you got to remember, though, this wasn't really a Howie thing per se. He was endorsed by Aaron Moorhead, the wide receiver coach, because Aaron Moorhead had an existing relationship with Reagor's family. And also the front office knows Monty Reagor because he played in Philadelphia, Jalen Reagor's dad. So, I mean, it's a complicated situation, man, when it comes to that. Like, bottom line is Justin Jefferson was the right pick. That part can't be ignored. I mean, Justin Jefferson was the right pick. But to be fair, let me pull down Joel because I don't want this to be associated with him because it's not like he said it, say, but a lot of people during that draft, in the 2020 draft, when the Eagles were rumored and linked to pick Justin Jefferson, they didn't have the same energy. A lot of people didn't want him because I ended up having to make 2 videos to defend Justin Jefferson to say that I know he's primarily played in the slot in the season. He's had the big year. There's 1 year on the outside. He didn't have the same type of production, but the dude was a really good route runner. Now, I made the whole video where I was showing you how he manipulated defenders with his eyes. Like, he had a really subtle head fake that just, I mean, he absolutely got himself separation, but it was a big mistake, man. It was a big mistake. We've made some personnel decisions in the draft that just have been bad. I mean, but it's got something to do with this game, but nonetheless, man, like, it's just frustrating because I went over there and I talked about how good he's played in off zone. When they had off coverage, zone coverage, where it was off coverage, he's done really well. Like, he's played pretty well getting separation. You gain all the separation you want. If you can't catch the football, it's all for nothing. And it's frustrating right now, man. This is kind of frustrating right now with Reagor, man. Like, I'm trying to hang in there, man, because he's still got an Eagles uniform on there. Still in our best benefit that this young man figures it out. But
I'm gonna say
not easy right now, man.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Gates. If he keep playing how he playing, he will not have an extension contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. And that'll be 2 first-round picks in 4 years that won't have one, because I don't think Derek Barnett will have one either.
Yeah.
So when you look at the situation, it definitely, I try to defend him and I try to say, well, him being put in slot, maybe that's better for him, yada, yada, yada. But once again, they're putting him out there to be kind of exposed more than he really needs to be. Mm-hmm. And I want to get to, where'd it go? David Berry. It's at 517. He said, I agree with what you're saying about Hurts. We have to do something about the O-line depth. Once you get past the starters, we're in trouble. I kind of disagree with that because 2 of the guys that's in right now are not starters. So when you look at Landon Dickerson, he ain't no starter. He's a backup. And when you look at Driscoll, who went out, he's not a starter. So I can't really agree with that, but I do get what you're saying. But you got to understand that depth goes past being a starter. The guys that came in today, it was only really Nate Herbert, but he's the eighth guy down the list. So I mean, if you get any production from the eighth offensive lineman that down the road, you definitely got good depth. So I get what you're saying, David, but you do got to understand that Leonard Dickerson and Jack Driscoll are not starters. They're just starting because our guys are hurt. Go ahead, bro.
No, I mean, it just took the momentum out of the offensive line, right? Like when Kelsey went down, man, we didn't look the same. I'm just gonna be honest, guys. We did not look the same when Kelsey was out.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. We've got to find some kind of balance, man. This can't be the story of the season, bro. It's disheartening right now, guys. I'm at a loss for words because I'm so frustrated.
Can I ask you a question though?
Go ahead.
In that situation, would you, and I don't know if they've been trying him out or he been taking snaps or like he's like because of that now he's the starter. But
yeah,
would you try Landon Dickerson instead of Nate Herbert? Landon Dickerson did play center in college.
I think it's kind of tough if he hasn't been taking any kind of snaps or anything like that. I mean,
but as a coaching staff, you got to prepare for all that.
Yeah, I hear you. But I don't know, man. I don't know if you can. That's kind of a hard switch to make if you haven't done anything in the week at all. And I don't know exactly how much Herbig's been prepped. Because here's the thing: is when Kelsey goes out, who's making the line adjustments? I don't know that. I don't know the answer there. Yeah. I have no clue who made the line adjustments. I'm going to assume it defaulted. I'm going to assume at that point it has to default back. I don't know this to be truthful though. I'm going to say Jalen Hurts, but I don't know that to be fact, guys. I'd have to see. I'd have to actually hear the quarterback cadence.
And
I'd have to hear quarterback cadence.
You know what's crazy, Gates?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about him earlier.
Yeah,
that's what Brandon Brooks would do in the absence of Kelsey being gone. And now it makes you think because we had that whole conversation in pregame. And now it makes you think differently when you see Kelsey go out and you see it just atrocious after that.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, if Brooks and Kelsey is gone, are we in trouble?
Yeah.
It really makes you ask that question, but I know you got the super Yoda. That's go ahead, bro.
Prince Neo coming in with the $5 super chat. For y'all don't know Prince Neo. Prince Neo has been rocking with me. He was like one of my first subscribers. Straightforward. He was one of the first 10 guys to subscribe to my channel, man. He's been rocking with me for a long, long time, man. I appreciate you, buddy. Said Jalen Reagor is built like a running back. Miles Sanders is always hurt. What do you think about moving him to running back and developing him there? I mean, I think you could do some things like a Deebo Samuel type role where you use him in some fashion, in some ways. I think he has to be more decisive if you're going to play him as a running back. I still think that he's going to dance a little bit just because, I mean, I don't know, to be honest, Prince. You know, it's hard to say without it's hard to say without seeing him play. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because he played in high school, I think. He might have played early college. I'd have to go back at TCU and really look. But I know he was a high school running back. I don't know what he was in terms of like early college. It's tough, man. I mean, I think you could definitely do some things with him, and I've been calling for that. That Reagor should probably be playing some in the backfield, do some things where you can disguise him. Yes, where you can do things with him. But the thing is that even in the way that I was suggesting to use him, if you're not decisive in what you do when you have the ball in your hands and you drop the football, it's not going to do you a lot of good, you know. I'm trying to be light on Reagor. I'm trying to be light on him, guys. I really am. I'm not just trying to cut him up. He's still a Philadelphia Eagle at the end of the day, but this is a disappointing game for him, man. Like, man, I don't even know what to say, man.
It's crazy. Out of all the players that, you know, especially in recent time, Who does he remind you of the most?
Reagor, in terms of recent. I don't think I know people keep saying Nelson Aguilar. I don't think he's the
It's
route runner
Nelson
that
Aguilar.
Aguilar is.
It's
He's not the
Nelson
route
Aguilar.
runner that. Yeah, he's not as good a route runner.
No, what I'm saying is
Yeah.
about being a first. I'm just saying about being a first round pick. Remember, remember Aguilar was a first round pick. I'm talking about he's going to get it on Twitter today. So we're going to see how strong his mind is, because I think Nelson Aguilar broke down when the fans started getting to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he went to Oakland, had a good year. I think he had a good year in the with the Patriots this year. You know what I mean? I don't think he had a touchdown this year. I mean, this game. But when it's not the pressure of the fans on you, it's different. And this is why I say it's a cause to pause when we talk about our quarterback, because it's like everybody wants to run people out of the city as soon as they have a bad game. And that's not fair, because everybody has bad games. Yeah. If you bring Deshaun Watson in, he's going to have a bad game. If you bring Russell Wilson in, he's going to have a bad game. That's just how it is. It's just how it is. Nobody's perfect. And I get it. I understand. We're frustrated right now. We're just coming off a loss that we think we should have won. We should have blown them out. Jalen Hurts, three interceptions, yada, yada, yada. I get it. I'm definitely pissed about it too. But that doesn't mean that you can't learn from those mistakes. Mm-hmm. I thought that, and here's one thing I'm going to say, and I thought Mark brought it up too, but I thought about it as soon as he did it. When he threw the ball away at third down, and second down, and you lit a fight another day, he should have did that. Yeah. With that pick, but he learned from that just like that. So it's things that you can see him trying to develop, but also the coaching staff has to help him with that. It's not just on him to develop. It's also the coaching staff and everything that's surrounding him. I mean, he got the guy that we don't talk about. I can't remember his name. If you can help me out, Steve, the guy that knew him since he was a kid, know his dad or something. I can't. The quarterback coach.
Oh, you're talking about Brian Johnson.
Yeah, Brian Johnson. It's time. It's time that we start evaluating Jalen Hurts. Yes, but at the same time, we need to also look at what he does good. And right now, until he develops everything else, you need to lean on that if you're the coaching staff. I don't care if he runs the ball more than he throws it. As long as we get a win. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Just do what's seriously. Just do what's going to make you win. And I thought that Nick Sirianni did not do that, especially in the first half, especially in the first quarter. You come right out gunslinging. For what? For what? You just went against the number one rushing attack, and you demolished them. And then you got your quarterback into a rhythm, and look what happened. A blowout. Then you come in here, pass, 3 and out, pass, 3 and out, pass, interception. You don't see the stars aligning on what you need to do? Come on, man. Go ahead, bro.
You're making a lot of good points, man. And to be honest with you, I don't know that this team doesn't desperately need a veteran wide receiver, to be honest with you guys. Like, I mean, I expect it more from the coaching staff in developing some of these guys. And I see subtle improvements, but I don't see drastic improvements. And I wouldn't even say I see large improvements from the receiving core. So I'm a little concerned that without a veteran wide receiver picked up in the offseason, I think this passing offense is going to have limitations no matter who's in there. And I don't really know what we can do about that because, I mean, outside of Quez Watkins, I haven't seen a ton of growth from these guys. I mean, Quez has had some moments where you see that he's developing, but you know, Reagor, it hasn't clicked, man. He hasn't been good. I I was hoping more from JJ. I mean, he's got a couple of catches the last couple of weeks, but we're literally talking about 2 catches. I mean, I don't know, man. I think we have to get a veteran wide receiver here, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Where are you at on the veteran wide receiver thing?
I've been with it since day one. I would have called Larry Fitzgerald. I don't think he officially retired. I would have called him. I know he's a slot guy, whatever the case may be. You still got Allen Robinson out there, isn't he out there? So
Probably. Probably.
That's two.
But I mean, I'm not even talking about this season, man. I'm just talking about the offense in general going forward. We just don't have.
Yeah. I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to in the draft. I'm definitely going to try to steal, like in the later rounds, third, fourth pick, whatever. Try to steal a possession receiver and develop him. And I think one of the worst things that we did was get rid of Travis Fulgham and keep J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. To me, that was a hurt piece, but I get it. Second round pick, yada yada yada. But you only use him for blocking and one play a game. He got two targets, 2 catches this whole year. He has done nothing. You think Travis Fulgham could have did something in this game? I do, because I seen him do it. So when you look at that situation, it's like, and I get it. I understand. A lot of people say Travis Fulgham don't be showing up in practice, and that's probably why you get cut from a lot of teams. But when that clock turned 15 to 14:59, and the ball is hyped, that bull balls. So I would give him I would have gave him a chance, man. And it's just sad because our only really possession receiver, like big receiver, is being used just to block and do nothing else, and the screenplay here and there. So it's like, in those situations, once again, make him earn whatever money that he's making. He's a second round pick. Make him go out there and earn whatever. And Reagor's not a 50-50 guy. I know a lot of people said that in the breakdown when he was drafted, he goes up, he gets ball, yada yada. No, he's not a 50-50 guy. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside literally was in college. That was his specialty. 50-50 guy, 50-50 balls. So why not try to use him? I know a lot of people saying, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, he stinks, yada, yada, yada. Well, you can't do anything if you don't get the opportunity to. I can't be a good Eagles commentator or whatever you want to call it, a YouTube guy, if I don't put up no damn videos. I can sit here and say I'm the best, but I ain't putting up no videos. So if you're a wide receiver and you're not put in a position to do anything, people can say what they want. But the fact of the matter is, he's not getting the opportunity. And he really hasn't for the last 2 years. And it's a shame. It's a shame.
Sorry, I must muted for a second. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of the comments, guys, and I'm trying to fish out some of the stuff for you guys. I don't know that that's true that we don't have money for next year, guys. Right now, we're scheduled to have 14 million, and I don't know if that's including what we have in the 18 that could be technically rolled over, deferred until the following season. And we don't know where the cap's going to come in at, I don't think yet. So that's normally not decided until the owners' meeting in the offseason. So I think we're going to have a little bit more money than it looks like, than what it might look like right now. Now, I'm not saying when I say we need to go get a veteran receiver, guys, don't mistake me. I'm not talking about a $15 to $20 million a year guy. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm talking about a role player that can catch you 30 to 50 balls consistently per season and can. I'm talking about a boundary side split in X-aligned receiver. Okay, I'm talking about a guy that can go get you conversions, has strong hands, a good wingspan, that kind of thing. I'm not looking for somebody who's a perennial Pro Bowler. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm looking for someone that can give me consistency. That's what I'm looking for. Because the thing is, and I know people are saying like, we're talking about assessing the quarterback and like we're talking about the total yardage that he's passing for. To me, that's irregardless. I don't care if he passes for 50 yards, 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards. It matters to me what happens in the game. And I'm more so bothered by the decisions that were made in this game. because I felt like there could have been some conversations that happened in the building. And I don't know, I'm not in there, but this felt like a game where the quarterback was told to press the ball more, to be more decisive in throwing the football. And some of that decisiveness led to some pretty poor decisions, in my opinion. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know. I'm not in the meeting rooms, but I'm just telling you as a guy who's coached quarterbacks for a long time. That's what it felt like. It felt like a guy that was told to be more decisive with the football and to make your decision and get it there. And it wasn't good today, guys. It wasn't good today. It's, I don't know what else I can say, guys. It wasn't a good performance.
Gates, I'm gonna flip the script on the wide receivers. I said in the pregame that the defense had to win this game. I said that, and I thought that they showed up. Other than a couple players being wide open, and Steven Nelson just getting picked on like big brother, little brother. He was getting picked on. Other than that, and not getting no turnovers, I would have liked to, like, Daniel Jones only has like 7 games where he doesn't turn the ball over. And now it's 8. So I would have definitely liked some more pressure. I thought the defensive line could have did better. But once again, 4 turnovers and only gave up 13 points. I need people to really realize what we just witnessed, even though it was a loss. It's not too many defenses that do that no matter who they're playing. You cannot turn the ball over four times and only give up 13 points. That doesn't happen in the NFL. But I thought that they, once again, I'm going to go through this because I know a lot of y'all was not here when I first said this. Saquon Barkley, not over 50 yards. Daniel Jones, 202 yards passing, 32 yards rushing. Shut your 2 best players down. So when you look at the situation of this defense, if they keep rocking how they rock it, and Darius Slay was amazing today whenever they threw to him, because I think he only got like 3-4 targets. People are scared to throw the Darius Slay way, especially having those 2 touchdowns back to back. So riding in, and I'm talking about the next couple games that we got going on. You got the Jets, you got the Giants again at home. And then you wait, how it go? Is it Washington is in there somewhere? It's the Jets then Washington? If I'm wrong, correct me. But this defense is balling. I thought they've been balling for the last about ever since that Chargers situation. Even though I thought they did good in that game, but going 7 minutes, or was that the Oakland game? They went 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, and we ain't even touched the ball. It was tie game. That was Oakland and the Chargers. Which one was that? Was that the Chargers?
I think it was the Vegas game.
You sure, or was it Austin Eckler? I think it was Austin Eckler. Yeah, I think it was the Chargers game. So
anyway, it's hard to say right now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It is what it is. All right, so. After that game, I thought this defense was playing outstanding. I thought they did today. So when you have that situation and your defense playing outstanding, what do normal teams do when they have a defense balling like this? They run the ball. They limit mistakes, and they let the defense dictate what's going to happen, and then we're going to play complementary football as the offense. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be, and Nick Sirianni needs to understand this. You don't got to be one of these gunslinger teams. What people fear about us is running the ball. You put the fear in them from the rip. We're going to snatch your soul, pause. But we're going to make sure that when we line up with our offensive linemen, we are going to overpower anybody that you put up here. And I thought that he didn't do that from the beginning. And then Daniel Jones, I'm not saying Daniel Jones did get into a rhythm. I think he only had like 7 incompletions, but he didn't throw a lot. But you gave them confidence. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the rip just took their heart. That's what you got to do with lesser teams, man. And a lot of people can say, "Oh, we lesser team, we this and we that," because I just think that we're a better team that the record shows. And you can say I'm being biased. I ain't got no problem with that. It is what it is. I'm an Eagles fan. But you have to instill your will from the rip. And I thought Nick Sirianni did not do that. Go ahead, bro.
A couple things real quick. Asia, appreciate you becoming a new member. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your win today, Asia. You've been one of the cool ones, so I'll say congrats to you. You supported your team even when you thought there was no way. Natiro said, I read a good post that said after accounting for rollover cap, rookies, dead money, dummy years, and other details, the Eagles will have a grand total of approximately $4.86 million in cap. So Natiro, I'll show you the numbers real quick from Spot Track that accounts for everything. So here's how they have it, guys. Spot Track has the 2022 cap totals as NFL salary cap being an estimated. Mind you, we don't know that yet. $208,200,000, right? And then they got them rolling over $18.6 million, right? So adjusted salary cap for the Eagles being $226,835,757. Okay. Adjusted adjustments coming out of it is all contracts, $190 million on the Eagles with $2 million dead money. And then they had the rookie salary pool. So let me come up here and take a look for you at $11,137,861. That's including the 4.3 for the 8th overall pick, 3.8 million for the 11th overall pick, and the 2.9 million for the 16th overall pick, which is probably not going to take all those picks. And we don't even know where the draft's going to really fall yet, but that's an estimate. At the end of the day, without accounting, they came out with $14,790,480 of available cap space for 2022. Now, what I will say is this, man, is we were $90 million in the hole at one point to begin 2021. And we went from 90 million to 20 million up. So if you need money, you can always find ways of getting money. So I never really put too much on that because we will definitely have the cap space we need to sign guys. But Reese, what's your thoughts, man? What do you think we're going to do in the offseason in terms of free agency?
I gotta really look at the free agents that's going to be there. I did see that somebody put up Avante Adams. He's going to Devontae Adams is going to be out there, but I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Because when you look at the situation of I like Ray. I mean, I like Quez Watkins a whole lot, man. And I just don't think he gets the opportunities that he's supposed to have. Like, I think that he has good size, good speed, obviously, and he can catch the football. It's just not, once again, not giving these guys the opportunity. And you want to push it on Jalen Reagor, who is just not that guy. I'm sorry. This was a miss in the first round. It was a reach and it was a miss. I'm not coming to saying he's a bust, but at first round, he's not a first round talent. I'm sorry. At wide receiver, he's really not. So I got to look at the free agents and see what's going on. Then look at the cat and see what's going on. So that's really gates a discussion that we got to have at the end of the season. And after the CBE and all that kind of stuff, they see what's going on with the cat. But for me, I would have still brought in. Your oldest wide receiver is J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That's your oldest wide receiver. Think about that. A guy that does not play. So it's no veteran leadership. Now, I know Nick Sirianni played wide receiver, yada, yada, yada. So what? You need that guy in that wide receiver room that's going to galvanize these young guys. And you don't got that. You don't got that. Think about it. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, then is Greg Ward. Or Greg Ward, matter of fact, Greg Ward is older than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Excuse me. Two guys that got one target in this whole game. Both of them got one target. One was a drop touchdown, and one was the same play that they ran last week. So when you look at the situation of veteran wide receivers, I've been saying this since week one. Go check the tape. We need one. And it might be too late now, but I would have been brought one up. And I named a couple names already. You know what I mean? When you got your Larry Fitzgeralds, your Allen Robinsons, and guys like that. And I seen a name that I don't like, but even if you wanted to bring back Alshon Jeffrey for a veteran minimum, he's just a guy. He's just a guy that has played and has won a Super Bowl and knows what it takes to win. And I think that's where we're missing in this wide receiver locker room, because we can't forget that all this coaching staff, everything, damn near every coaching staff on the offensive end, instead of in spite of an offensive line coach, everybody else is new. Everybody else is new at their job. So you need them veterans to help. And that's where I think Brandon Graham came in. But I want to ask you this, Gates, and also the chat. How do you feel that what's his name? Stiteman? I thought that he definitely played a different game, but you seen more emotion, you seen more I ain't gonna say a lot more, because obviously they only put up 13 points, but it definitely kept our defense guessing. Do you like what you seen, and was it different, or you think that was like a kind of a factor on them winning the game?
I definitely think you see more pre-snap motion. I definitely think we see guys that kind of get moved across the formation. I think that they kind of got caught out on that and they've been implementing it. But I think where the criticism is lying now is we don't see a lot of misdirection. So you're getting a lot of this, you'll get this jet motion action, but you're never really handing it to the player. So the only purpose it's serving is to check for man versus zone coverage, really.
Right.
So it's not really holding the eyes of the defense so much anymore, because we just haven't really. And to be fair, the few times we've tried recently, it's gone for very big negative plays. But I think that's part of it. I do think that Steichen has brought in some motion elements to the offense. I don't know, I have to figure out what the role is between Patullo, Steichen, Sirianni, how they come together for the game plan and the design on the plays. So I'm not really sure who's responsible for doing some of these things, but I do think that the last reports I heard was that Steichen was getting more opportunities and more say from Sirianni. Like they were getting a more direct line of communication between one another. But yeah, Jeremiah Butler with the $1.99 super chat, man. I appreciate you so much. Goes into your veteran receiver thing. He said, we have the wrong number 18 while Cobb is acting up. Yeah, Randall Cobb's always been a pretty good player, though. I mean, even going back to his Green Bay days where he was a really, really good football player. I'm sorry, man. I know you said 99. I'm trying to find it.
Where you at? Houston, Steve?
I think so. I think he is in Houston. It's the last place I heard of him at.
Well, they game over, ain't it? Then they lose?
Probably. They're not very good. And then $4.99, Jeremiah said, we're not a better team. We reverted back to what got us this record. My patient with Hurts is running thin. This Reagor guy, I swear. Yeah, there's a lot of disappointment in Reagor today. And I'm not even going to come at you guys today because I'm pretty disappointed myself. And I'm reserving a lot of words, guys, to be quite honest. I'm trying not to cut a guy down. I'm trying not to cut a guy down and just stay objective about the situation. But it's hard for me because if this was a different football team, I could just give you pure analysis. But I'm emotionally invested in this team. So it's not easy to do that on games like this. To be honest with you, if my wife wasn't sitting on the couch with me as I was watching this game, I might have thrown something because.
Hey, I can't. Sometimes I can't watch the game with somebody else. But Asia, real fast. No, I'm not cold. It's hoodied up, fresh, Grim Reaper fresh today because I got some people I need to talk about. So that's why that's the only reason. And then, I gotta always put my brand out there. So that's why the hoodie is on, Asia. I am not cold though. I'm actually hot. I'm mad. So I'm hot. All right. Oh, Cobb and Green. He went back to Green Bay. Okay. He went back to Green Bay.
He's a good player. He's a very good route runner, and he's a good slot guy. I mean, he gives you production. A lot of people ask me questions about Jalen Reagor. So Shy Guy, this is what I'm talking about trying not to overreact and say things because it's easy to say something when you're really angry. I'm not happy right now with Jalen Reagor, to be quite honest. Seth Joyner is saying it's time to move on from Jalen Reagor. What's your thoughts, Kate, especially when you just broke down film on him? My thoughts is he had a really bad game, and no matter how much he's winning in off coverage and how open he's getting, it doesn't matter if you can't secure a catch. That's my honest to God thoughts right now. In terms of moving on from him, I don't know. It's hard to do that on the guy you spent a first round pick on. You got to have people and players to replace him. I do think it's time to maybe rethink his role in the offense. That's about where I'm at with him in this exact moment, is to reconsider what this young man's role is in the offense. The problem is it's not like Greg Ward's giving us anything. It's not like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I know, where's my guy here with the Go Duke, man? Be more. I know he's out there. He made a catch. I mean, Reagor made a catch in this game too. So I don't know where you go in terms of the production, man. I mean, I would just say that Quez maybe try Gainwell more in the slot when Jordan Howard gets back.
You know what I would do next? I would look at how Cordell Patterson, and I would use Reagor like that. Like, get the ball in his hands to where as though he don't got to catch it, or if he does catch it, it's short passes. He's not a guy that's catching these 50-yard bombs. He's not a guy that's even catching these 30-yard bombs. He's not doing that on a consistent basis. But he is an athletic guy. Use him in the backfield, use him on end rounds, and look at some tape of Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson is basically a wide receiver that turned into a running back / wide receiver. Use him like that. Use him like that. And I think that you will see a better Jalen Reagor, and we wouldn't be grinding him up as much as we are. What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's unique ways of trying to get the ball in the guy's hands. There is, but I don't know, man. I think they almost need to take a step back from Reagor for a second, simplify what he does for the offense, because sometimes you got to take a step back to take a step forward, and this young man needs a lot of work. And I don't know where his emotional and mental state's going to be after this game. You just dropped 2 opportunities for game-winning touchdowns in an in-division game where we had a chance of pulling back 500. And being in the thick of not only the division, but certainly in the playoffs. So I don't know, man. I don't know what they do here. Like I said, I think one of the things you could do is possibly play, Quez Watkins, give him some more role and some more. I'm not saying you completely remove Jalen Reagor from the offense, guys. That's not what I'm advocating for. But I think you need to reduce the snaps at this point. I do think that Quez can play you some flanker. You can use Devontae as a flanker here and there. And I think that Kenneth Gainwell can be a slot. You need to find answers to guys that can catch the football and make plays, because I know that there are people that are saying, yeah, Gate, what does it matter if quarterback's not making the throws? But be truthful, guys. And I know that that's not – I understand that 2 throws don't make up the entirety of a player's game. So I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts deserves a pass for how bad he played from the pocket. But he did make the throws down the stretch that could have won the game, and the receiver dropped the ball. So, that's the thing that's it's frustrating. Like, I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts deserves a pass. Nick Sirianni had some questionable periods of time in this game to where I don't think he was on his game as good as he should have been. Guys, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I need 24 hours before I even look at a film on this game again, just because I don't even think I can separate my emotions right this second from the film. So I really need to get removed from it for a day or so, and then have the opportunity to go back with, a clear mind to kind of look at the concepts and the design and see what's going on. It's a tough game, guys. This is a tough game to drop, man. This is a really tough game to drop. Like, this shouldn't have happened. I had a hunch that we were going to have a letdown. But like I said, I was just hoping we'd have the letdown, but still find a way to beat a Giants team that we should beat. But the game would be way closer than what it should be. That's what I was hoping for. I don't know, guys. I know some people are like, Gate, you got to give up on this. The season's done. I'm not ready to give up on the season, man. We're still technically in contention. I can't. I personally, I'm just talking about me personally, guys. I can't personally operate that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to go into every game feeling like this team's got a fighting chance, or else it's kind of like, what are you doing it for? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was a bad showing today. Is all I can really say.
Oh man. I agree with everything you said. First of all, shout out to Asia. She said 500 need to stop making the bets, and then guess who comes right up? He must have heard you, Asia. Shout out to my guy Philly 500. Shout out to Asia.
I think it's a burner account though. It's Philly 5,000. It's my they're doing a play on this.
So I ain't even look at it, man. But I'm where you at, Gates. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up because if we go to the playoffs, a lot of people that's saying this and saying that, they're going to be hoorah, and it's nothing wrong with that. I get it, but when you look at the situation of what's going on, is it's too many games that you're supposed to win, and you're not. It's too many games that you have a chance to win, and you're not. And that's the frustrating part. It kind of reminds me of 2016. We were so close in so many games, but it was just gone. So once again, that was a new quarterback. Once again, that was a new head coach, and a whole lot of other guys that was new at their position. So to me, it's about learning, and everybody make mistakes. Trust me, I make mistakes. I make mistakes everywhere. I make mistakes, relationships, and my job, yada, yada, yada. It's all about getting better after you make those mistakes. I need Nick Sirianni to get better after these mistakes that he's seen. You know that you came in and you killing the league and you got them in fear of you rushing the ball. And even when they know you're going to rush it, you have the offensive lineman to just, like, Lane Johnson was on a tear today. Like, when you look at his play, he was not playing with people. So when you got that, you have to utilize and you got to start utilizing your guys to the best ability. It's time to start getting Reagor the ball in short distance and see if he can make a play. It's time to start using Quez Watkins on some screens and on some slants in the middle of the field. Like, when you look at what Kansas City does with Tyreek Hill, they don't just keep him and have him just do fly routes. No, he does post routes also. Being a burner and you going through the middle of that field is so big because it's right in the quarterback's view. And if he sees it, you got a young quarterback. If he sees it and he's flying open, good things can happen. Dallas Goedert, once again, one target. This is the guy that you just paid. He's the third. He's getting paid the third most in amongst tight ends. He gets one target. Are you freaking kidding me? So when you look at these situations, man, it's things to definitely be pissed about. Quarterback play, offense, just period. It was atrocious. You only put up 7 points. It's atrocious. But yet and still,
exactly. Especially when we moved the ball the way we did. It was just a comedy of freaking errors in terms of the turnovers, man. Like, it's a frustrating game, man, because there were opportunities. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you get out there and you get dominated. You're just clearly getting beat by a team that's better than you. That's not what happened. Like, someone said it in pregame. I can't remember who it was, but someone had made the comment pregame, Reese, and I thought it was hauntingly eerie now. They said, the thing about the Giants is that you got to be careful about is that somehow, some way, even though the Giants aren't a good football team, they have a way of making teams play down to them. Yeah, man, that was a haunting statement now. And I didn't necessarily, pregame, I wasn't insinuating we would play down to the Giants level of play. I just thought the Giants had a really good defense. And I thought the defense would be pretty difficult to move the ball on. And honestly, my fears weren't realized because we didn't really struggle to move the ball per se. We just turned the ball over in pivotal moments. We didn't execute when we needed to execute. That was the bigger problem. And like some of you guys have asked about the Miles Sanders thing, guys. I don't know. I don't know. The only thing I can say is that it seems like they go with the hot hand at the running back position. And going into the fourth quarter, the momentum was behind Boston Scott, and they pulled Miles Sanders away. And I will say that I had the same thoughts that a lot of you guys did, which is you could use a more explosive player right now. a guy that could gash the defense right now. I get it. I felt the same way, but they made the decision they made, guys. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Mike Williams, you want to know how many games I think we should have won? Let's go through it. 49ers game, think you should have won that. You lost 17-11. The Cowboys game, you got blown out. The Chiefs game, it looked closer than what it is, but you really got blown out. The Tampa Bay game, you could have won. The Chargers game, you should have won. It's a game. The Oakland game, you could have won, even though the score doesn't look like it, but you definitely wasn't in position to win. Today, you should have won. So I just named you about 5 to 6 games. And I kind of agree with you, what you're saying. We could have been number one. But this is the growing pains that we're going to have to go through with a new quarterback, new coach, new system, and trying to figure out an identity. Finally figured it out, but then he ran from it. I don't understand that, but it is what it is. So to answer your question, those are the games that Tampa Bay game was not over in the fourth quarter. Don't do that. Don't do that. Tampa Bay was not even scoring on us. They weren't even scoring on us. It was like 10-3. So when I look at what I'm looking at, I just need to see productivity and you eliminating the mistakes that you've been making. Don't revert back to what's not working. And it seemed like Nick Sirianni did that in the first quarter. I'm going to throw the ball. I'm going to show that. And it seemed like when you play the NFC East, you're just trying to show up and show everybody this. No, do what's working. Once again, you just put up over 200 yards on a first-ranked defense. The last 3 games, they gave us 60 rushing, 50 rushing, 40 rushing. This is what they did they last 3 games before they played us. And you put up 200. You had more rushing yards than the last 3 games combined. And you're going to sit there and you're going to try to throw the ball all around the field? No! That's a problem. That's a problem to me, man. That's really a problem. And Nick Sirianni got to figure that out. He really does.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying, man. It's they got to do. They have to make some adjustments with this football team. I mean, bottom line, man. I mean, we got every time you lose, you should learn something. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to come away with learning something, Russ. It's that's when you are just a bad organization. Got to take this loss and you got to look at what happened here. And I think that there are questions, even at the strength of this team on the offensive line, to where Kelsey goes down. There are some concerns here. Like, I think that needs to be a priority in the offseason to really think about life after Kelsey. I definitely think that we've got to do something at wide receiver. I mean, I was hoping, Reese, I was a huge Reagor guy in 2020. But even when we did our mock draft, I kept trading down. I didn't take Reagor. I kept trading back.
Me neither. I never. He wasn't even in first round. He never was even in my sight.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some people say that he was like a 3rd or a 4th projection. That's not the projections I heard or saw. I saw end of the 1st, beginning of the 2nd round was where they had him projected.
Yeah, I got you.
We definitely reached at 21. That's not where he was projected to be. But that's the thing about projections. You don't know what teams are looking at, what players, but it's still a wrong choice. The right choice is playing for Minnesota. And I made 2 videos, and I said, this guy's a really good route runner. He's such a good route runner, and that's the choice we should have made. Now, we'll say this. I do think it's a false narrative to say that we could have Justin Jefferson and Devontae Smith. That's highly unlikely. If you have Justin Jefferson, you probably don't have Devontae Smith, to be honest.
I mean, who knows if Justin Jefferson last year doesn't come over here and look like Jalen Reagor. You know what I mean?
Fair, but I don't think it'd be that bad. But.
No. But sometimes it's just on opportunity, scheme. And when you look at it, where Justin Jefferson fits, he fit right in. I mean, you had Thielen over there. You got Cooks. You know what I mean? Like, he fit right in over there. They already had established offense. We did not. Remember, if Jefferson plays, we probably don't see a Fulgham. You know what I mean? Like, so it's things like that we had to take in consideration. And then your next two wide receivers are who? You know, you had the situation with Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson hurt. So maybe he gets a lot of targets, but maybe he doesn't look like how he looked over there in Minnesota. You get what I'm saying? But I want to get at two comments real fast. First one was Be More Philly. He said,
"What time? Do you know?"
He said they. I guess he's talking about Eagles. I guess he's not an Eagle fan anymore. So he said they ran the ball more than they passed. They did, but not in the first quarter. You didn't make your mark. You didn't make your mark, and you didn't put no fear in it, and then let things open up. What you try to do is you try to pass to make the run more successful, and that's not how that works, especially with this team. It don't work like that with this team. You have to run first and then let things come to fruition. And then, Asia, I appreciate you asking about my daughters, but to let you know, I got 5, not just 2. It's just 2 that you see in the video, but I got 5 daughters, and everybody is good. My sons is good. Everybody, 7, I got 7 kids all together. Everybody is good. Thank you, Asia, for asking.
James, what I'll say is this. He is dynamic. He's a dynamic athlete. That's not the issue with Reagor. Just like Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar is a dynamic athlete. That's not their issue. You can win the routes, and he won those routes. To be fair, Reagor won those routes. He didn't complete the catch. That's the larger issue here right now, and it's frustrating because I kept saying it's a tragedy of errors with Jalen Reagor. And man, he put that tragedy of errors on display today. He just did. I mean, he had the one big catch down around the sideline, put us up on the goal line. I was like, okay, here we go. We're coming to life. And then, the first attempt going into the end zone, I was like, all right, I thought he should have had that. It hit his face mask, it bounced off. I was like, okay, tough catch. I could overlook that, man. There's not a lot of
that is pride here.
Yeah. Well, you remember the New England game where he dropped the one in the end zone, right in the back of the end zone. That's what it was reminiscent. Yeah. And then you get the one that bothers me the most is the last play of the game. He should have had that. He should have had that. I mean, there's just no excuse for it. And by no means am I implying these are easy catches, guys. They're not. They're not easy catches to make. But this is a professional athlete in the NFL. Man, the ball came right to him, man. It was a good placed ball. I mean, he put the ball exactly where it had to be placed to be caught. And I'm not saying that the entire game Jalen Hurts played up to that ball placement level, but on those 2 throws in particular, the balls were placed pretty dang well. And
here's the thing.
It stings we ain't come away with them.
Even with we don't talk about the Quez Watkins drop because we won a game last week. I thought that was perfectly placed. And it seemed like that was the same play. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it definitely was a ball that you should be able to catch if you're a first round pick in the NFL. Now, here's what I'm gonna say about the second one. You can't get a better throw than that. In that situation, you can't get a better throw than that. It's like, oh, this dude is open, and then you gotta definitely tip your hats for Jalen Hurts for this. Knowing that in that same drive 2 plays ago, you just dropped a touchdown. I'm going to throw it to you again and give you another chance. And he boo-boos on me. He just, that's so frustrating. We're having a different conversation, and everybody in the chat is having different kind of comments. If he makes that catch and Jake Elliott kicks that field goal, and it's 10 seconds.
He could have been taking a freaking victory lap. I mean, if he comes down with either one of those catches, the narrative is different. The narrative is completely different.
But even the narrative to Jalen Hurts is different. Even though we're going to talk about the picks, because this is what we do. But I just think the chat would be different. It's like, damn, Jalen Hurts brought us back. Yada yada. This is our guy. It's funny now that he did make the throw. And it was supposed to be caught twice for a touchdown. Now we're grinding him up. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. But just to say, but saying that, oh man, just give up on a guy. Let's go get a quarterback. First of all, I don't think there's no quarterback coming out in the NFL draft that's going to be better than Jalen Hurts. I don't. If you do, let me know, because I don't see nobody. Nobody. The dude from Alabama, he not coming out. What's his name? Bryce Love or something like that. He ain't coming out. So when you look in the draft, who's coming out that's going to be better than Jalen Hurts? Don't worry, I'll wait.
It's hard to say, man. I mean, like, I'm not in evaluation mode for that. Like I said, man, normally off seasons when you evaluate that type of thing. All I can say is that there was a little quote I put inside the Jalen Reagor video, guys. First off, let me just say, man, thank you all so much for showing up on that video, because that video got traction. I really do appreciate y'all watching that video. But when I did the Jalen Reagor video, I said in the video that the concern with Jalen Reagor is that the talent's there. But then I gave you guys the saying, and I said, but the problem is you can't wait on ships that don't come in. What that means is you can't wait around forever with the expectation that a guy's going to figure it out, and you fool yourself into wasting time. And I can't make that decision for the front office. That's got to be between the coaching staff and the front office. Something ain't clicking, man. Something's just not clicking with Reagor. And I really hope that, look, I hope the young man makes us eat our words by the end of the season. But if I was betting money on it, I'd bet that he's going to be a guy that gets to that fourth year and he doesn't get the fifth year option. That's what it feels like to me. He'll be here for 4 years. He's very unlikely to get the fifth year option unless we see some kind of drastic development. And it's kind of hard to keep saying and expecting that, because it's just not happening, man. It's not happening on the field. The production's not there. I'm not asking the guy to have 100-yard games, because we don't have the style of offense to give multiple guys that type of production. But when the ball comes to you and there are pivotal in-game moments, you got to make the play. You got to make the. I don't know how else to say it. You have to make the play. Like,
let me get at a couple comments real fast. First, Be More. Hold on, let me try to find it. Be More. But how many times have we talked about our old quarterback having turnovers, but then getting into a position to where as though he win the game? It's no different here. And I'm not exaggerating. It's an exaggeration. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Any of his picks, there's nothing that I can really say about that. I can defend on. But what I can say is the defense gave us an opportunity to win the game, and so did Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying that they don't matter. I see Philly 5,000. And Jalen Reagor, you said if Reagor comes down with the catch, you mean you? Ain't that you? If you come down with the catch, then those three, I'm not saying they don't matter, but people tend to overlook the bad things when you come down with a win. You know what I mean? And as much as I gotta go at Jalen Hurts for these picks, and I did at the beginning of the live, and I will now and again in case a lot of y'all wasn't here. That second pick at the end of half was it was just a hurt piece, because even though it might have only been 3 points, it's still momentum going into the situation instead of giving the Giants more and more of confidence. That pick, you see how confident they was when they got that pick? He didn't go anywhere, but they didn't care because they stopped us from getting 3 points. You have to throw that football away. You got to. You have to let it, like the dude said on Waterboy, you let it fight another day. You got to let it fight another day, man. You know what I mean? So that definitely was a hurt piece. The last one, dude, what are you looking at? What what are you looking at that you think that Reagor can outjump 2 defenders? What are you thinking? So they definitely count. But we do this we have a tendency, and the media, the national media does too, to just erase everything that a player does if they win the game. They'll erase everything that Tom Brady does. They throw 3 picks. but they still win the game, even though it's a whole team game. So I'm not trying to erase it, but I'm trying to tell y'all that if Jalen Reagor makes that catch and we win the game, we're not talking about the three interceptions as much. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, bro.
What's up, Lone Wolf? Appreciate you tuning in with us, buddy. The only thing I'll say to that, though, Lone Wolf, is that the balls were there. They were there to be caught. Like, we get questioned the read, and I don't know, man. Until I can see the all-22 Lone Wolf, I can't really – I don't want to base it off TV coverage. It's just not – it's not adequate film. So I can't really talk about the read on that. But the ball placement was there. That was obvious. He put the ball in an area it could be caught. It was a really well-placed ball at the end of that game. But I would say the thing that affects me when we say about the wide receivers is like it's like the inverse of ignoring Jalen Hurts making bad reads that led to 3 interceptions, letting the receivers off for dropping balls that were catchable passes that could have also impacted the game. It's the same thing, right? It's just different sides of the same coin. It's the same issue.
That's a good question, Prince. I'll let Steve read it and then I'll answer it.
What's up, Prince Neo? Appreciate the super chat again, buddy. He said, what do you think we do with Fletcher Cox in the offseason? He looks washed, second year in a row. Last year he was decent, but not worth his contract. Well, I mean, the reports were they already tried to move on from him. They were willing to eat the dead money if the right offer came through. But I don't think that it's 100% certain he comes back. He's still a good football player. Is he worth the value of the contract? I think we all know that's no. He's not worth the value of the contract he's being paid. I think that's quite obvious at this point. But I mean, I still think he's a good football player. He's not a guy like I was hoping that in this new system, and they've been using stunts and twists and stuff on the line here recently. I mean, they've been doing some of the things a lot of us asked for. And I was hoping with moving him around, not letting teams key in on him, using stunts and twists, and he'd be a guy that would finally get that double-digit sack year. He's got 1 sack. I don't know, man. Obviously the production isn't matching the contract value, and that's a truthful statement. There's nowhere to go around that.
Let me tell you something. If this was a milk carton, Fletcher Cox's face would be right here. This dude is missing. Hargrave, missing. Josh Sweat, missing. Derek Barnett is the only guy that's been showing up these last 3 games. I understand. I seen Josh Sweat get some pressure. I seen Fletcher Cox make a play on Saquon Barkley. It was like a 4-yard loss. I get it. I understand it. But when you talk about touching the quarterback, dude, you can't even sniff his cologne. Like, are you freaking kidding me, man? Like, you got 3 guys getting over $10 million a year on that offensive line. That's $30 million. And we don't have not 1 sack this game. Not 1 sack this game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers was tearing Daniel Jones up. And we can't get 1 sack. And it got to the point, if it wasn't for Avonte Mathis with that amazing dive stop, that it was going to look like the Chargers all over again, 7-minute drive. Because there's no pressure. There's no pressure. And that's a problem to me, man. I'm not even going to lie to you. When you don't get no pressure on the quarterback, he can sit there and do whatever the hell he want. I don't care if it's Daniel Jones. I don't care if it's me. The fact of the matter is, if it's no pressure in his face, then he can do whatever he wants. And it's looking like that with his defensive line. This defensive line needs to get home more. They really do. Because other than Nelson, the cornerbacks are doing their freaking job. They holding these guys down and making them go from his second and sometimes third read. And that's when y'all supposed to collapse on it. But that's not happening. And that's a problem to me. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, man. I mean, like I said, I still think that Fletcher Cox is a good player. I just the contract value is crazy, and part of it's because we keep pushing money down. So we've already the crazy thing is he's already pretty much been paid a ton of that contract. because we keep converting it into bonus money and then paying him it. Then we're taking it and prorating that over so many years. We've done that like 3 times on his contract. So he's already made a significant portion of that contract. Now it's just really, I mean, I don't think he cares either way. He's pretty much got it. He's got his payday from it. It's more so if the Eagles want to accelerate the dead money or not. That's really the question with it. I mean, hard to say, man. And then you got to get better. You know, if you lose a Fletcher Cox, you got to have answers on the interior too. That's the other side of it. I mean, the offensive line and the defensive line overall, they're good. It's a solid unit, but I'm not saying they're not both without questions and long-term concerns. Especially defensive line, I think has some legitimate long-term concerns.
I went over in the pregame, bro. What I tell you, I would go defensive line with my first 2 picks. I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lone Wolf. I think it's both though, man. You can't say like, oh, Hurts didn't have the team in position to win the game. You know, the defense did. I mean, it was both. The defense played a really good game. The defense gave us the ball back with a chance to win. Look, I'm not saying that Devontae Smith was or was not open. I didn't see the play. I was, I'm dictating from what the camera shows, and I haven't seen the all 22. So it's not a matter. To me, being a guy who's played the position and being a guy who's coached the position a long time, sometimes those things get overblown because you have to understand when a play comes open, like when a receiver comes open in a play, you also have to understand what the concept and design of the play is. Because there are times guys will be open, but if they're not in the concept of the play, that's a little bit more on the play caller than it is the player sometimes at quarterback. And I can't say either way because I don't have the all 22 in front of me to diagnose what the scheme and the concept was, what the rock concept was. But it's hard to say, man. I mean, I can't really say anything definitively without seeing that. Like it would just be all emotion and reactionary. And I'm trying the best I can not to do that tonight. So I mean, it's really hard. It's hard to say either way.
Yeah, you and me. I'm reacting. I'm reacting because I get the tape. I get the game tape. I understand all that. But I'm looking at the ratio of passing versus running, and it should never ever, especially in the fourth quarter, be 10-6. And a lot of people might say that, well, that's not that big of a deal, just 10-6. Well, let me tell you what happened in them 10 plays. 3 and out, interception. That's what happened. Now, you can blame the quarterback for that. Yes, you can, and I get it and I understand it. But a lot of that is you knowing that your quarterback is struggling and you helping him out by running the damn football. But instead, you wanted to get cute and say, look at me. Look at what we can do. And I had a problem with that. And I see you, B. Moore. I see the comment. That Boston Scott fumble is not going to go unnoticed. It's not. I really, to be 5'6", 5'7", whatever the heck he is, and to be as strong as he is, and I get it. I understand that. And I like Boston Scott. He's the type of runner that I was. But I ain't going to lie to you. That was so major. Like, I felt as though everything was positive in that drive. Everything. Except for that. The most negative thing that you can do, and it's the fourth quarter. For that, we might as well have Miles Sanders in. To me, I get what he was trying to do, and I'm talking about Nick Sirianni. I get what Nick Sirianni was trying to do. He was trying to go with the high hand, yada, yada, yada. But I would have implemented Gainwell more into the game plan. I think Miles Sanders had too many snaps by himself. I thought that they should have been split with Boston Scott, who is supposed to be the giant killer, but he did have our only touchdown of the game. I thought they should have been split more. I thought you used Miles Sanders way more without – it was like, as long as you got Saquon Barkley in, we got Miles Sanders in. It seemed like that to me because I think Miles played the first, 30 snaps. Boston Scott didn't touch the field until the second half. And that's a problem to me. You got to look at I would have liked to see some more Gainwell on the slot because once again, when you used him, you seen what happened. It's just using your best players to their best ability, man. But we were going on 2 hours, Steve. I ain't gonna lie
Yeah,
to you.
no, I was supposed to be off here a while ago. It's all good.
Like Marvin, man.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I get everybody needs the therapeutic nature of this, guys. I get it.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf, I appreciate you, bro. You always comment on my videos and stuff, man. I appreciate you, bro. But here's the thing, man. A lot of what you're saying is very reactionary, and I get what you're saying on the surface, and I agree that I'm disappointed that we didn't find ways of getting Devontae Smith the football in this game. I picked him to be the player of the game offensively, but I'm not going to come out and definitively make a statement until I see the coverage and what the Giants did. And even if he was wide open on a read and Jalen Hurts should have made that read and it was in the play scheme, the design, one play doesn't dictate an entire game. So I can't say, what I'm saying? I can't say that without seeing the actual coverage of what's happening.
And I get what everybody's saying. He was wide open. But in NFL terms, so was Jalen Reagor in the middle of the field, right in his view. So to me, you cannot blame Jalen Hurts for that play at all. I understand people saying, I got to look at it again. I understand people saying Smith is open. But in NFL terms, Jalen Reagor is wide open. He's wide open. All he has to do is catch the ball and roll into the end zone. Even if he doesn't get stopped at the 1 yard line, we still got enough times to run probably 1 or 2 plays. Because you're going to get up there, you're going to spike the ball probably at the 10 seconds, and then you can throw 2 outside plays and see if one of your guys catch the football.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I cannot for the love of me blame Jalen Hurts on that one. It's a lot Jalen Hurts get blamed for, but not that play. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Jalen Hurts has some responsibility to bear in the ultimate result of the game being a loss.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that you turned the ball over 3 times, man. Like,
he did.
You got to tell, what I'm saying? And like, I'm just trying to make sure people understand that we're not clearing him of that. Like, we know he's got some responsibility in this game here.
I gave him 60% of the loss. To me, he is 60% of this loss is on him.
Yeah. But I mean, down the stretch in a game, and I get it. Like, it's like setting fire and putting it out and saying that you're the hero. I get it, guys. I get it. It's the Howie Roseman thing, right? When we talked about the cat. Howie basically brought a bunch of alligators into, Jeffrey Lurie's office, let them free, and then handed Jeffrey Lurie a card and said, I'm an alligator wrangler. Like, it's the same concept, guys. I get it. But it's disappointing what happened with Reagor down the stretch, guys. You're talking about a guy who was high on Reagor coming out of the draft. I absolutely loved Reagor's film. Yes, when I did my mock drafts, I passed on him. I still said that I think Justin Jefferson was the right pick even before we picked Reagor. Yes, I was shocked. I thought Reese was messing with me on draft day when him and Mike were telling me that they drafted Reagor. I thought they were pulling my chain. But I don't know how we walk away from this and feel good about what happened with Reagor in this game. Like, and I'm not a reactionary guy, guys. I'm not sitting here saying that this dude should never get another target again. I am saying we probably should take a step back to ultimately, possibly one day, take a step forward with this player. I mean, I'm worried about this young man's mental state after this game. Like, I don't know, guys. I mean, this is going to be a really tough coaching job for this team. The coaches are going to have to earn that contract, that money they got in the offseason with this organization, because you got a lot of work to do to hold this team together right now. Because you can't let one error losing to the Giants, who had a really good defense, by the way. They had a really, really good defense. You cannot let that one error turn into 2 in the same exact city, in the same stadium, which is another kind of mental craziness about this, is we got to turn back around, play in the same exact stadium, and play another opponent that we need to walk out of there with a win with. We're a better football team, absolutely, than the Jets.
The Jets game was at home.
Huh?
I thought the
Jets game. No, I thought it was. Let me check. I don't know. I thought it was on the road. I thought we were still playing the Jets, but I can check the schedule real quick and see. But either way, we can't have.
We go back to MetLife. You're right. We go back to MetLife.
Dang, right. Yeah. See, like that's tough, man. Like we just can't. You can't have two mental letdowns in a row, man. You got to beat teams like this. You know what I mean? Like, and that was my fear coming into this game. I know a lot of people like in the comments like, "Oh, chill, we got this game," and I'm like, I thought this game was going to be a little tougher than people thought. You know what? We got motivation going into that second game at home. We got a lot of motivation. That's what I'm going to leave it with, is that defensively, this team has gotten a lot better against probably not the greatest quarterbacks. I'm just going to be honest. We haven't played a lot of talented quarterbacks, and it's just part of the equation. But it's gotten better. It's gotten better from a scheme standpoint. It's gotten better from some of the personnel decisions at linebacker. I'm worried about Steven Nelson. I've been worried about Steven Nelson before we made the signing. I made videos and I brought this stuff up, guys. I'm trying to hold on to the positive, guys, because I got a feeling we're going to need some positivity. The defense is at least playing.
He's playing a
lot better.
He's starting to look like the next Ronald Darby. Target. I mean, like, why go to Walmart when you can go to Target?
Yeah, you have to bounce back, because if we do drop the Jets game, I find it very improbable that we're going to have any kind of momentum going into the on a stretch of this season, because that'll burn us. If you can at least get the Jets game, then you're going in 6-7, unfortunately, until a bye week, and you got time to prepare for what I think is going to be another really tough football game. And I know Washington fans are laughing. Might want to chill. You got a 3-win team you're playing too Monday night that's got a lot of talent, just hasn't performed. Y'all might want to take care of business first before y'all laugh. I get Dallas is laughing at us. We laughed at them. Have your fun, guys. Have your fun. But y'all did drop 3 out of 4. Just saying. The Eagles got to get back on schedule. They got to get back on track here. Jordan Howard needs to come back, man. This offense is not the same without Jordan Howard. We definitely need a contact balance back in this offense to keep things going.
It's messed up to say that. You're absolutely right. But
Kelsey needs to be healthy. We need – that was an unintentional way of almost rhyming that, but we need Kelsey on the football field. Yeah. We need Kelsey. It's no doubt about it, man.
I mean, he came back, though. He came back.
Yeah. And you saw how quickly the offense started to move the football again. And I'm not going to say that we didn't move the football at all with Herbig in the game, but Herbig made some pretty big errors, man. I'm pretty disappointed in Herbig, too. I mean, we're talking all this stuff about Reagor and Jalen Hurts' performance. Herbig had a pretty bad performance, too.
It ain't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly.
Yeah.
So, I definitely agree with you. But listen, Steve, I'm starving.
I hear you, man. My wife's about to kill me. She sent me a text like an hour ago, like, "You almost done?"
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
Next time we go live, Gay City gonna have black eye bars.
Probably so, man. Y'all call the cops. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all so much, guys.
Real fast, everybody that commented on a free giveaway, it was Miles Sanders. I gotta check Miles Sanders' stats. Whoever won, you will be getting a free either Yoda or a fully fresh hoodie. I got you. If y'all don't know, every Friday I give a free giveaway, man. Every single Friday, man. All you gotta do is check the video. It's the do's and don'ts video on how we gonna beat the opponent that we got coming up. And this Friday, I'm gonna be doing the same thing, man. Every single week that we play, on Friday, I will be doing the do's and don'ts and also a free giveaway on the Jets game. So appreciate all of y'all that commented. I'm gonna look after I eat something. I'm starving. After I eat something. And I'm gonna see who won, man. And shout out to all y'all that comment, and shout out to the guy that won. Yo, that.
All right, guys. Just one thing I'll add in before we leave here. I'm trying to get some of your comments in, guys, but we really do got to jump off. Victor Parker, we appreciate you coming on and commenting, buddy. He says Steven Nelson is good. He's better than what we've had other than Slay.
That's true.
I think that there can be two sides to a coin, Victor, and I think that's a true statement. And I even said that in the video in the offseason before we signed him, that while I think there are some very clear deficiencies in Steven Nelson's game, he would absolutely be the second best corner the moment he touched the field in Philadelphia. With that said, there's a reason why quarterbacks are starting to target him. It's because of the deficiencies in his game, and he's got to tighten some stuff up. Guys, thank you all so much, man. We really do appreciate y'all. Y'all have rocked with us for 2 hours. I needed the therapy in this one. I did. Reese, I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. You already know my statistician guy.
All right, y'all.
I
Fly
appreciate
Eagles fly.
also, man. The Fourth of the Better Bird podcast. You already know. Stay Philly, stay fresh, y'all. Go ahead.
Fly Eagles fly, guys. We really appreciate y'all so much, guys. And we'll be back at it next weekend, guys. Come catch us for the pregame and postgame, y'all.
And make sure y'all hit that like button.
Thank y'all so much, man. Peace, y'all. We're out of here. Please hit the like button, y'all. Bye.